So I went on Pexels.com and I found a couple images that we could use. And what's wonderful about doing a digital campaign is you get to do something different with each platform. So I'm going to do a little bit of a tweak to what we were doing. And I'm going to do a little play on the shop, eat, play. So each one will be a different focus. So this one will be shopping. So we're going to go ahead and take our blue, just duplicating that. And we're just going to say shop. Make it a little bit flatter, make it big, so shop. Of course, I need to tweak that because that doesn't look very elegant, does it? Let's make all that 0. So shop, and then eat. Let's go ahead and get this cropped. Now we may not need the blue, I'm not sure. Yeah, we're going to need the blue. But let's make it a little transparent. And let's reduce the space here. It's not so big. Trying to make it as elegant as possible. Let's make that 88 opacity. So shop, dine, and then this last one will be play. This will be the shot of the mall. Of course, the client can probably provide that one for you. This is a horizontal photo, so I am going to have to crop some out, but that's just the nature of digital ads. You can't show everything, but you can do the best you can. Okay, and let's get our play. Or whatever you want to do. Relax. How about relax? That sounds a little better than play. And then we have our store names, which I'm sure the client appreciates that. We've got to get those store. We could create a fourth one and have the store names at the end. Or we can keep this and bring out that dark background we used at this Instagram square ad. Put that behind here and make all of this text white. And let's feather that even more. Or I can even go up and do a Gaussian blur to really spread that out a lot. It's not letting me do that. Let's see. Let's go to my appearance panel. And let's increase the feather. Let's just do it that way. Let's do it at maximum allowable. There we go. As long as it's still readable, I'm happy. And we can reduce the spacing to help the readability. We can even make this a different color. Ooh, I know. I have an idea. I'm going to make a blue box. Get our blue color. There we go, relax. So you can kind of see the image underneath. And I could even do let's get our transparency. Let me do a blending mode. I'm going to do luminosity. And I am going to see if I can feather the edges, and reduce the opacity. Let me add a drop shadow. I still can't read that text. Let me move this out of the way, move this out of the way, and let's make that a much darker blue. Make it a darker blue so when we bring that over top, there we go. Now we can read the text a little better and do a drop shadow. Let that drop shadow be more blurred. Make it 100%. There we go. I think that needs tweaking. I don't think I can get away with the photo being so bright. So let's reduce it. So there's our kind of Instagram story that'll be loaded similar to the previews I was showing you right before this section, where you have, it stays for, 5 seconds and it flips to the dying one, and then 5 seconds it'll flip to that one. So there's our little Instagram story that we created. We could send all of these off to the client. We have probably 10 to 12 different versions of social media campaigns. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And there's what's wonderful, once again, about using the artboard system is this is all easy to export. So we're going to export all of these as JPEGs. That's going to be your standard format that everybody wants. So what's wonderful about using the artboard system in Adobe Illustrator is I can export these all in a few seconds. So once I'm happy and I'm ready to get some client approval on these, I'm going to go to File, Export, Export As, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the Use Artboards. It's going to clip everything down to the artboard. So if you don't click this, it'll export this really huge document. It'll include everything outside of your artboard, so you don't want to do that. So click on Use Artboards, and let's make this a JPEG. Click on Export, and I don't want to have the largest file possible, so I'm just going to back it off a notch to maybe 8. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to make the file size a little smaller. And go ahead and click on Screen. Me personally, if I can get away with it, I will always export as high. Because a lot of this Facebook and Instagram, when you upload a 300 ppi, which is a really high resolution, print resolution quality, those those platforms will automatically resize it down to where it needs to be. So for me personally, I like uploading very high resolution and let them downgrade, as opposed to loading a 72 dpi and maybe I miss out on the opportunity to have a high resolution image somewhere. So me personally, I like to sometimes do medium or high. But 72 is your standard. That's the one that's most acceptable on digital, but I love to do a higher resolution. If the file size is too large, go back, do screen, it'll reduce the file size quite a bit. So if you have a problem with the file size being too large, stick with 72 dpi. But otherwise, I love my images looking great. So 300 ppi is what I recommend for exporting digital images. So right now it's exporting, and what's wonderful is I have all these exported as a JPEG. Instead of having all these individual files floating around, I have one file. My entire social media campaign for this mall is all right here. Instagram, Facebook, and I even have the stories. So here we are. Let me go ahead and double click on all these. We can preview, make sure they look good. Of course, I'm on a Mac right now, so it's going to look different for you. Love it. We can kind of take a look at our campaign, zoom out, kind of see if we like that particular look, see if we can't get client approval on a lot of these images. There's the profile pic. There's kind of a standard image that they could use. Great. I'm very happy with this campaign. I hope you enjoyed sitting along with me. I wanted to do kind of a raw, real, practical design project with you guys, and I didn't plan this ahead. I kind of, you could just kind of see exactly what I do for a real world client. I have a client just like this. I just changed the name just for privacy for my client. But this is real world stuff. This is stuff I do every day. This is how I make a lot of my money, is doing some of these digital ads. And of course, there's print campaigns as well. So I'd love to add that as an additional bonus part of the course, maybe in the coming months. But hopefully you had a great time and you learned a little bit about the process of how to do professional graphic design work.